Anyway, so this is our book club book. We meet on the 20th, as I mentioned, at 5 p.m. Hi. And we'll just talk at that time. So this is, I think, a fairly easy read. The only difficulty for me is that some of the people mentioned you may have to Google if you don't know a lot of U.S. pop culture. But other than that, I think it was fascinating to read this book. I enjoyed it much more than I thought I would originally, because her humor sometimes can be, I don't want to say dry, but sometimes it feels like it comes suddenly, and it's overwhelming, but this book was really well done. The other thing I wanted to mention is that we have a new acquisition to our books. This was donated by Elizabeth and Joe Cronick right before they left. And this is a wonderful book called The State of Wonder. I mentioned it in my letter to you in the past newsletter. I think it was the first January newsletter. And this book is the story of a woman who works for a pharmaceutical company. Her office mate gets lost in the Amazon. They are working in the Amazon to solve the problem of malaria, to either come up with a vaccination for malaria or come up with a more effective drug. And he goes to check the scientist who is working in the Amazon and disappears. And so she goes in search of him, and it's an amazing story. I literally could not put this book down. I was very upset when I had to turn off the light every night to go to bed. But it was, I highly recommend it, and it will now be added into the collection probably after today, right? You'll be able to check it out. One other book that I will donate later this week is called The Color of Water, and it was also mentioned in my previous email about books that I found outstanding. And this is about a young black man who was raised by a white mother in Harlem. I think he was growing up around the 1950s, 1960s, and it's also an extraordinary book. Another page turner that was very, very difficult to put down for me. So that will also be added to our collection by the end of this week. Anyway, now